Hey everyone, welcome to another video. So this video is the one that we've been waiting for a long time now. If you've been watching all previous videos, you'll know that about a month ago we was on our way to Scotland and our van, unfortunately, it broke down on the motorway in Glasgow. Now, when we got the van dropped off, there was clearly a serious fault because we had to get the van recovered to Volkswagen Oldham. So we found out that it was an electrical fault, and the part that we needed to fix that electrical fault was actually on back order. It was out of stock within Volkswagen. So another few weeks later, it's now been 4 weeks, I've had the phone call, the van's been fixed, and today we'll go and pick it up. So let's go over to Volkswagen Oldham and I'll tell you everything that's been going on. And I'll also tell you in this video what the actual fault was. So we're here at Volkswagen Oldham, let's go. One thing that I want to say is we've had this Volkswagen Transporter for the last 3 weeks, and do you know what? We've given it a good test drive because we've been all over the country in it, and do you know what? I have to say, if you're looking for a quality vehicle, Volkswagen Transporter is well worth considering. If you're interested in something like this, have a look at Volkswagen Oldham or have a look at the Swansway Motor Group, because you know what? I do like these. So guys, as devastating as it is that, you know, obviously the van's poorly and everything, you know, and it's fixed and all that, you know, obviously it is what it is, we're here. I've just got a big smile on my face because they've just told me that this new van is in. Now you're gonna have to say, what's this called?
GTX, ID Buzz GTX.
And what's the brake horsepower?
340.
340 brake horsepower. Now I know we're here to pick the van up, but oh, look at these wheels.
So this has just come in, so it's not been prepped, it's literally just been washed and that's it.
Wow, look at that. I'm alright to get in and have a quick sit down.
Yeah.
Let me just have a quick sit on these seats here.
So with the new ID Buzz as well, if I just close that door for you, it does have opening side windows now.
Right. Wow, this is comfortable, this is a bit smart. Not that I'm non-appreciative of obviously Volkswagen Oldham lending me the Volkswagen Transporter van, you know, that we've used for the past few weeks whilst our van's being fixed, but if this had been in, I'd have been like, you know what? I
literally dropped in this morning.
Right. Is this an electric vehicle?
Yeah, full electric.
All electric?
Full electric.
And what's the brake horsepower again?
340.
Wow.
Drive.
Wow. And are these readily available for sale now? People can come in?
So you can order them. Lead time, you're looking about 6 months, 6 to 8 months. This one I've had an order from November. Customer orders come first, so my demo took a back seat and it's took that long to get here just because it's my demo.
Right.
Customer order. Fantastic.
Do you know what? Watch this space. I think we'll be coming back here very shortly to have more of a look around this. But anyway, let's get back to our day where you know, I've come to pick the van up. But yeah, when he showed me this, I thought I've got to have a look at this. So guys, we're here with the van. Oh, it's been so long. Do you know what? I'm so excited to get on the road, get everything in my head all sorted, you know, where it's get back on the road, because you know what, we've missed the van. So right, let's get on the road and then I'm going to tell you exactly what the fault was. It was a few days later when I got home after went to the Volkswagen garage. It's had loads of things to sort out, and obviously because the van's been in the garage for almost a month, you know, I had to obviously clean the van inside and things, you know, get loads of things out, because obviously when we got the van recovered to Volkswagen Oldham, you know, we didn't have a chance to empty everything at the van, so you know, we spent a couple of days sorting all that out. So right, let's talk about what the actual fault was. Now, like I said, for the first week that the van was in the garage, you know, they weren't really able to do that much with it because it was so busy for them. And like I said, you know, we just turned up and basically said, look, the van's here, it's broke down, and obviously we want to get it fixed. You know, they weren't able to jump on it straight away. They had a quick look to see if there was anything obvious, you know, they spent a few minutes on it, but you know, they weren't able to diagnose it or anything. And you know, it took about a week for them to obviously, you know, have a good look into, you know, what the issue was. After they did a lot of tests and things, you know, the van still wouldn't start when it was in the garage. When the van broke down, we had it where, you know, it started a couple of times and then it wouldn't start, and then it would start, and then it just got to a stage where it just wouldn't start at all. You know, we tried also when we were there to get it started, but it wouldn't start again after it did start a few times before. So they did all the tests and all the diagnostic tests, you know, they checked all the wiring, they checked all the diesel injectors, you know, they checked all the things, you know, that would cause that, because obviously the diagnostic codes that came up and things, you know, like, you're sure they could be like in this like line of things, you know. I'm not mechanically minded, so I'm, you know, probably not wording that like how it should be worded. So the fault actually turned out to be, it was a faulty ECU. Now, for those that don't like really know much about like the mechanics of vehicles and that, the ECU is basically the computer of the vehicle, and pretty much everything, from my understanding, you know, the controls of the vehicle goes like through the ECU. So the ECU controls like a lot of different things. And it turns out that that had become faulty, and faulty to the stage where, you know, it wasn't repairable, because, you know, I think, again, from my understanding, like, you know, some ECU faults, you know, might be able to be fixed, you know, maybe with like software, like updates and information and things. But anyway, it turned out that the ECU, it could not be fixed. Now, a lot of you are going to be thinking, like, so, you know, as you know, the van is so well maintained, you know, I do look after it so much, and, you know, that's clear. If you watch the channel a lot, you'll know that, you know, like, because, you know, I get so many services done and things like that, you know, and Volkswagen Oldham, you know, they go like over and beyond, as they do with all the customers, you know, to like, you know, try and get your vehicle, you know, so that it feels, you know, how it should, you know, especially if it's a camper van and, you know, you're doing so much travel and that. Yeah, so you might be thinking that, you know, how can an ECU like have this fault in a low mileage relatively new vehicle? So obviously I did my research and I spoke to the master technician at Volkswagen Oldham and things, you know, and gotta say it as it is, it's just one of those things. As rare as it is for an ECU to go faulty, it's just one of those things, and it so happened to go faulty like on our van, and it just so happened to be that it happened on the first day of our holiday, you know, and there's like nothing we could do about it. There was no sort of like doing anything different with the van, doing any more or less like servicing or maintenance, you know, it still would have happened. So, you know, there's nothing that we could do about it. So anyway, the issue was for us, obviously after it got diagnosed, was the fact that the ECU, they didn't have it in stock and it was on back order, and obviously, you know, as we've said in this video, it took like almost a month for us, you know, to get it in, obviously get it fixed and so on. So it's all done now, and, you know, we're back on the road, which I'm so happy about and grateful about. Now, I just want to point one thing out here that is so important, and it just goes to show. Now, our van is just out of warranty. And let's first of all see, do I actually fit?